We want to talk to the person responsible for Coolie Pink and Green. And joining us via Skype is Professor Patricia Mohammed. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's so good to have you on the program. And Coolie Pink and Green, tell us all about it. I know you did that a little bit ago, but it's premiering tonight on TTT.
Thank you. The Coolie Pink and Green was actually done in it was first premiered in 2009, but
Right.
produced in 2008.
Yes.
It actually came out of a series of films that I was doing, which again related to my larger body of academic work, which is about image in the Caribbean, looking at different groups in the Caribbean and looking at what we've made of culture. So, for instance, before Coolie Pink and Green, I had done films on Jamaica, Haiti.
Right.
Jamaica was called The Color of Darkness. In Haiti, it was A Sign of Iloa.
Mm-hmm.
And the one, Coolie Pink and Green, looked at the Asian aesthetic, if you like. All of these films were looking at what we'd produced as imaginative reinventions of culture within the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by imaginative reinventions? Break that down for me.
All right. What I mean is, no, I'm happy to do that. What I mean is that we tend to, there was a whole long colonial discourse of thinking of loss. We had, lost culture. We'd left homelands. We were brought here as whether slaves or indentured and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think by my generation, certainly as thinkers, writers, and so on, began to see the change in identity creation. And we began to own our identities more.
Right.
And look at the way in which we had created out of these shards of broken pottery, as Derek Walcott puts it.
Right.
We had created new culture.
Right.
And
Yes.
I like celebrating that for all of us. So that's why I say it's a much broader picture.
Yes.
I came to look at the Asian community and the Asian, not just in Trinidad, but in the wider Caribbean. But certainly, of course, my primary source is Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
Imagination is. I began to think, what was it about the culture that was most defined as negative, and what do we have to change? And of course, I started with the word coolie.
Yes.
Because coolie had a pejorative term, and I used the word deliberately to redefine that word.
Mm-hmm.
A coolie was not, originally a pejorative word. It just meant a laborer. But we had taken on connotations of it here. So I thought, okay, let's dispense with that. Let's see what this means.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that, I think part of the way of creating change is to have people see beauty, to have them see what is actually, let me put that differently. When we think of what is not appealing, we think of the negative aspects of it. And fully it was, when I was growing up, it was about, the colors you wore, the, the tasteless, quote unquote, tastelessness.
Yes.
Lots of jewelry and pinks and green. Noor Kumar says there were other colors. And I agree, there were many colors, but I picked pink and green perhaps because those are the ones I liked the best.
Yes.
The magenta pink and that emerald green.
Okay, so that's where I always wondered where the name came from. So that's where the name came from.
And perhaps it was because my mother had made me a lovely pink dress when I was young that I loved.
Right, yes.
Where thoughts come out from, those early ideas.
Yeah. And what was the process like? I know you worked with Michael Mulida on this, and he's gone on to do so well since then. Hello? Have we frozen? Oh dear. Are you still there with us?
I am.
Okay. I was asking what was the process like? I know you worked with Michael Mulida on this film.
Right. I worked with Michael Mulida, Christopher Ding Chong, but most importantly, I wanted to say this morning that our cameraman and cinematographer was Franklin Saint Just.
Who passed, Chappie? Franklin
Right.
Chapuis Saint-Just, right, yes.
Right. And I am so, one of the primary things I want to say this morning is that that film's beauty and its classic, I think, lasting quality, which will live on way beyond myself and others,
Yes,
is due to Franklin's, um,
Saint-Just, yes,
Franklin's capacities as a cinematographer. And the script is actually, when viewers see it this evening, the script is actually written as poetry. I
mm-hmm.
use the kind of poetry of the Ramayana, the Bhagavad Gita, kind of call and response. Actually, very, very Trinidadian call and response of calypso. You know, where
Right,
the like, girl is speaking and then her grandfather is responding, and she's
yes,
asking, you know, why do I have to do these things?
yes.
This is what I
Well,
celebrate. And
don't
he,
don't give away too much of it because we want viewers to
okay,
tune in. We want viewers to tune in this evening at 8 o'clock, right here
but
on
she
TTT for
happy when he saw the poetry.
yeah,
Which is
yes,
the point to me. He was Trinidadian, as you know,
mm-hmm.
and he had grown up in Trinidad, and he understood immediately what I was trying to capture.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, we're going to have to leave it there, Professor, because we are perilously close to the top of the hour. But I want to thank you, and I want to encourage our viewers really to look at this seminal piece of work here, Coolie, Pink and Green, tonight at 8 o'clock, right here on TTT. That's Professor Patricia Mohammed, director of the film, chatting with me via Skype.